So welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be looking at sampling size determination. How do we determine the sample size for any research endeavor? Now, we want to look at the importance, the factors that is responsible for choosing the appropriate sample size and the methods for accurate sample size in every research endeavor. Now, when we pick our sample size, it is very important. Sample size in every research is very important because it ensures statistical validity, reliability, and generalization. We cannot choose too small sample size, as well as it is bad for us to pick too large sample size. We must ensure that we pick the appropriate sample size for each research endeavor. Proper sample size minimizes errors and then optimizes resources. How then do we determine, or what are the things that determines the right sample size in any research endeavor? Now, the first thing we want to look at is the population size. Now, we need to know your research, the population of your research. Is it known? Like, do you know the population of your research? For instance, you want to look at the factors influencing early marriage among youth in Alimosho local government, right? Now, who will be your population? Those are the youth in Alimosho local government. Now, do you know the total number of youth in Alimosho? You must first of all find that out. It will determine how we would pick how we would determine our sample size. If it is not known, what do we do? Now, another key factor is the margin of error. What do we mean by margin of error? Margin of error means sampling error. It indicates the range within which the true population parameter is expected to lie. So remember that we are dealing in social sciences, we deal with humans. And humans can be very subjective and biased. Now, this margin error will determine the number of people we expect that, okay, let's say if we're looking at 500 people, 10 of them will tell lies, 50 of them will tell lies, right? And then when you are looking at small margin of error, you require a large sample size, and vice versa. The third thing is the third factors that would influence our sample size is the confidence level, and that is what we call Z-score. Now, when we say confidence level, it reflects the certainty level of the sample estimated. So we have our common confidence level at, some people will put it at 90%. When it is 90%, we have our Z will be equal to 1.645. When it is 95%, Z will be equal to 1.96, and when it is 99%, Z will be equal to 2.576. So the next thing is population variability. What do we mean by population variability? High population variability increases increases the required sample size. That's when there is a lot of difference in our population. It will require a very large sample size. When it is also unknown, when the variability is unknown, then we would estimate using a pilot study or historical data. Then the last one is type of data and study design. The type of data you want to use, whether you're using a primary data or a secondary data, will determine your sample size. Now let's look at sample determination formula. We have various formula, but let's look at it. For simple random proportion, for instance, when our population is known, when our population is known. For instance, I gave an example before that we are looking at youth in Alimosho local government, and if the total number of youths, let's say the Bureau of Statistics in Lagos State have told us we can get the total number of youth in Alimosho local government and they are 6,000, that means that our population is known. The formula we'll be using will be what we have on our screen now. N equals to Z raised to power 2 times P times to bracket 1 minus P over E raised to power 2. So when N there, we already know what N means. N means the required sample size. That is our total population. Then Z will mean I already explained that, which is our confidence level. P means estimated population. And then we use 0.5 when our estimated population is not known. Then our margin of error is what we refer to as E. But when we are dealing with a population we don't know, let's say for instance, in the Bureau of Statistics, nothing was given on the population of youth in Alimosho local government. We don't know it. That is when we use finite population formula, and this is what you have on the screen right now, the number 2. Then the third one is mean-based formula, when you are using your mean, and this is what the formula is, what we have on our screen right now. So let's look at the method for determining sample size. What are the things that determines our sample size? Number 1, and that is the most objective determination of our sample size, is statistical formula, and those are the formulas. We also have other formulas that we use. Then we have power analysis, and also we have pilot study. Pilot study is when you carry out you first of all use another population. You administer your instrument on a very small population to see if you can actually capture the intended data that you need. Then also you can use software tools such as GPower or SPSS. Then also, how can we adjust our sample size? When you can use accounting for non-responsive rates, consideration of dropout rates, especially in longitudinal study, where you have to study a population over a certain period of time. So when people begin to drop out is when you use your considering dropout rate, adjustments for stratification, and also for clustering. In conclusion, proper sample size ensures accuracy, efficiency, and credibility. It depends on multiple factors. Various things also determine our sample size. We don't just pick them off head. So things that affect those factors include margin of error, confidence level, and population variability. Also, we use statistical formula and software tools helps in determining the correct sample size determination. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.